Death to everyone.
No, YouTube will just
to everyone.
Oh, nice.
Okay, let's something else. Ready? I'm gonna say something ominous. Something ominous. Are you sure?
I hear you. I heard all that.
You can't say death to everyone. YouTube immediately
right.
bans us. What the hell is that?
Sorry, it's been a while. I freaked out. I didn't know what to do.
But did that work, Jeff?
It did, yeah, I heard all that.
All right.
Hello.
I will keep it PG.
You gotta say unlived to everyone.
Unalived.
Or unalived to everyone.
Happy unalive day to you.
special.
Okay.
There we
Stream,
go.
the stream is happening.
Stream is happening. We are back. We had we felt like we were going through a haunted house, a Dose Incredibles haunted house, blowing the dust off of stuffs, get back and going, but we couldn't let the season go without us. Ain't gonna be no Rumble without us. We're back in the house. How you doing, Mario?
What's up, Jeff? We had a live seance earlier to summon Jeff from the East Coast. His body has left this plane of Austin. We've replaced him in his seat. I think with an adequate replacement. Chuckles is here.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. How's it going, everyone?
Yeah.
Chuckles is in
Yeah,
your
it's
chair.
gonna-
He's real comfortable in your chair, Jeff.
I can feel your imprint from your bum. It's quite nice.
Hey, you better
miss
not be
you.
messing up my ass groove.
Miss you. I miss you in the 512, sir.
Yeah, why we got 512 weather? Got some 203 weather.
Yes, thank you for sending that.
Yeah. Thanks for all that.
Arctic.
I was just we were just reminiscing on last year's Halloween special. We had the hooch. The hooch was flowing. The Halloween
Oh my
hooch.
goodness. That pumpkin spice thing was still curdling in my gut.
And I think the drink was good. I think the problem was we ate those McBoo Happy Meals that were sitting in the back seat for 6 hours.
It tastes like it was longer than that.
You have to get there at like exactly 11 if you want to get the McBoo Happy Meals. They sell
Yeah.
out by 11:15.
And they don't stay warm in your car. See, the whole thing with the myth is just the French fries, can live under your seat.
Right.
What's up, Selena? Thank you. Cool stream. We are back. But yeah, the whole French fries staying alive, that doesn't mean it's going to be good. It just means they're going to be there.
Facts. And that's why the fries taste better in the car, because when you're a kid,
Yeah.
you get that Happy Meal, and your parents just like, okay, I just threw you the bucket, and they're like, now shut up for the next 5 blocks. And then by the time you got home, the fries were gone. You gonna eat your burger? I don't want them. I just want the toy and the fries.
Oh man, and we're all going to be partaking in any specific beverages for said holiday, or are we going to just keep it traditional this year?
Yeah, I'm spooky. I can get spooky.
What's up, Internet?
Hello,
Internet?
internet.
Oh, there we are. We got faces.
Oh, look at this.
Jeff's like on a 10-second delay, so it's going to take a while for some of those reactions.
Yeah, I'm in. As you can see, I'm posted up in Haddonfield, New Jersey. The myth that was Haddonfield, Illinois, was just Hollywood magic. Deborah Hill actually grew up in Jersey, so right here in the tri-state area. So I thought I'd come up to my niece's Jamie's room, and that's why you see some stuff behind me that may or may not be copyright infringement. But if you look, technically, that's when the mask stopped looking like Michael Myers. It was more like Michael Myers-ish.
There he is.
It wasn't like the OG.
James T.
William
Kirk staring right at you.
Mario, what was the name of the movie? We just watched it on Joe Bob Briggs, where that William Shatner mask was born.
I forgot, but that's actually where the mask is from.
Yeah,
It's
and we
from
actually said,
it was a mold from that movie. I forgot what it was called.
yeah.
And I think they
That
gave
mo-
the original to Shatner after years. They're like, bro, this thing stinks. You can have it back.
I'm surprised they never had him as a cameo in Halloween, right?
So I ended up watching the Rob Zombie versions, and I mean, it was good, but the mask is a little bit different, and then, I don't know, the vibe altogether was different because it's Rob Zombie. He put his metal flair on it.
Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches and so we can jump right into that, right? Because it is Halloween.
This is the Halloween special, so yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys have Hell Night? Because tonight is Hell Night.
What's Hell Night?
Was that?
That's
only,
when Eminem won that rap battle.
Mom's spaghetti. Palms are sweaty.
Which Moss Spaghetti, unrelated, yeah, he's actually releasing that sauce.
Get the sauce.
This will be at your store soon. But yeah, Hell Night was actually always the night before Halloween, and this might have been something that was just made up in Long Island, right? That's when you just terrorize the town, rocks through the windows, throwing stuff at cars, like you do treacherous stuff. That was
Like you get sushi and you don't pay.
yes, exactly. Dine and dash on the sushi, whatever it takes. Oh my god! So yeah, it's technically a 3-day holiday. So you have Hell Night, then you got Halloween, then you have All Saints Day to purge all that out, right? Now, one of those holidays didn't catch, right? I didn't find that out till recently, that's why All Saints Day was born, to purge all the evilness from October 31st, which I did not know.
It also doesn't work.
No, it didn't work.
That's a solid fact that folks can drop on November 1st morning.
Yeah.
When everybody stumbles in hungover with makeup on their face. It's like, did you know All Saints Day cleanses you of your
yes,
sins?
it's in the Crow too, Mike. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Representing all
Mike, the industry
Coast are
is
now
on.
all Coast are now officially representing. You know, Anthony was in here for a while, so he always been our East Coast rep. But yeah, every body of water connected, and water is one of the biggest conductors of human energy that we know that has not been captured other than invisible ether. So we're technically we've always been all connected. So we're just videotaping it now. Can we say videotape still?
Is there somebody's got to be rolling a beta or VHS somewhere on loop? That's what it is. It's on loop. And then that's our hologram.
It is. But Charlie, let's go into, because before we went live, let's turn off those work noises. So before we went live, we were going to talk about the franchise that everyone speaks of this time of year, right? That's the Halloween franchise. Mm-hmm. And it's bizarre to me that there are 13 Halloween movie installments. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
I did. We talked about that before the stream, actually.
Yeah.
The way I found out was because I watched Halloween, the original, and then I went to the streaming service.
Actually, the way I found
Halloween
out is
2.
I've had AMC Fright Fest on since October 1st. And they've played every Halloween movie multiple times daily. So
Yeah,
I've
second
speed run
one.
through them.
Yeah, I found the second one, and I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't look like anything from the 80s. And then, had the date on it. It was like 2015 or 2017. And I was like, oh, a Rob Zombie installment.
Yes.
All right, it's like, let's do it.
Are we going to speed run through these and review and go through them real quick?
Yeah, I think we should speed run through them, because we're basically going to be speed running through 1978 all the way up to 2022. That's a big jump for that franchise. There's only one other franchise that came really close to getting 13.
Who dat?
But we might get that soon. But fingers crossed. But yeah, we started with Halloween, what people may know as the babysitter murders. Oh, I can't say that. Damn it, YouTube. Can I get it? Can you get a mulligan on YouTube? Is there a mulligan button?
They don't have that 5-second delay. It's already live. It already went out. You already influenced somebody in a bad way. But anyway, you're right. That's what the original title was. But John Carpenter actually denies that. I don't know. It's back and forth. The thing about the first Halloween that people just don't realize. Well, I think people do realize. It's super, super indie. Like, it was low budget. Low budget.
Yeah.
Did you know that Robert Englund worked on Halloween as a PA?
What? That explains a lot.
Yeah.
What?
Robert Englund, yeah, he not like for the whole movie, but he worked on the movie as a PA for like a day or two.
So there was a crossover before we even knew it.
Yeah, way before.
Wow. So
those two should be
on that, and also
Freddy versus
what's that?
Freddy versus Michael Myers.
Yeah, I just listened to that book, Mario. I recommended it. Charlie, I was telling you about. It was the Slash of the Titans, and it was like how difficult it was to get Freddy versus Jason to screen, and it goes through each script. But of course, one of the scripts was what other icons can we get into this movie and sequel, and they talked about Ash, they talked about they weren't gonna, I think there was a attempt for Leatherface, but obviously I think Michael Myers, which is 3 or 4 on the horror.
I mean, they're both in the knives, so
Yes.
that just kind of makes sense.
The horror route Mount Rushmore. Sorry, I got to get used to this delay. I think it's throwing off my brain. I'm used to hearing it live, but
Because you're hearing us from 2 inputs. You're hearing us in your headphones and also us coming through the computer.
yes, just throw me off a little bit.
Call
But
him on
anyways,
the phone.
We'll mute ourselves for while you do this part.
so what I was thinking is, do you remember that first Halloween? It was actually supposed to be a new horror installment every year. Is that correct?
Halloween?
Yes. Every year they were going to do a different Halloween story.
Oh, yeah.
And the first one just happened to be the babysitter unalivers.
Yeah. No. Actually, I mean, no. John Carpenter did Babysitter Unalivers as a job. He was a director for hire, right? Some folks with money hired him to make a horror movie like that, and he came up with the premise for Halloween. And then Halloween was a hit, made a crap ton of money, and they were like, "Can you write another one?" And John Carpenter was like, "No, it's over. I don't want to do another one." So
He made a bunch of money.
They gave him a bunch of money. He got super hammered. He wrote Halloween 2, and he regrets it for the rest of his life because it's like he made Laurie and Michael Myers related, and he's like, "I wish I would do that. You can look it up. I was hammered, and I did that, and I wish I hadn't done that." In the
And the funny
rewrites.
thing is that I really liked Halloween 2. Did you dislike Halloween 2?
No, Halloween
I
2
liked
is
it.
really good.
Yeah, I
Halloween 2
liked
is
it.
really, really good.
I liked it.
I have no issues with Halloween 2. It carries on in the tradition, Jeff. I think that you will understand this. I feel like nowadays it's like people there's a sort of a standing order to like a sequel or a follow-up should be different somehow.
Right.
Right? You mean
Right,
that's
yeah.
make
Gotta
it
follow
different.
the storyline.
Reinvent it. You know what I mean? Make it a different color, make it a different race, whatever. But back in the day, when you made a sequel, you would try and make it as close to the first one as possible, so you couldn't tell it wasn't another movie. You know what I mean? The way like
Yeah.
Rocky and Rocky 2 blend together, like you can't tell sometimes which one it is. Halloween and Halloween 2 blend together. You don't remember which one you're watching.
Yeah, it was literally the next night.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a great sequel. Yeah, it's a good one.
And anything that
I-
does a flashback always helps too, because you're like, I don't remember what happened in the last. Oh yeah, and then
you got
they
the,
slip that in as a little Easter egg. For
You got the upgraded music. John Carpenter, I guess because it was a hit, they gave him a better synthesizer. So the soundtrack is kind of like beefed up. I have no heat with Halloween 2. I think it's great.
Yeah, so that's why I was a
concur
little
with
upset when they acted like it needed to be taken out of canon, like it was a problem. I don't think you should take anything out of canon. We just need to own our past. Look, it happened, and this is where we are with it. But I'm just going to rattle off real quick, and then we'll start. Since we already kind of started from the top, but I did want to go in through. So we have Halloween, Halloween 2, right? So 78, 81. Then they tried to return that gimmick that we originally talked about, like we're going to do a different horror movie every year. That's when Season of the Witch was born, and man, was America confused. They're like, where is Michael Myers? These are really cool masks. And it's funny that, that movie's getting so much love now, but man, back then, it was just loathed. I don't even know what the box office was, but then they just took it as, well, we can't do this new horror movie every year gimmick, so we're going to have to go back to Michael Myers. And then we got Return of Michael Myers, Revenge of Michael Myers, Curse of Michael Myers. Then they took a little bit of a break. And then we got H2O 20 years later. Halloween Resurrection. Took a little bit of a break. And then that's when we got the Rob Zombie 1 and 2. Got a little bit of heat, whatever. And then we got the David Gordon Green trilogy of Halloween, Halloween Unalives, and Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to see this movie. Have you guys heard of this movie called The Babysitter Unalivers?
No, stay with me. This is how he's pitching it. He's pitching it in the
No,
green room right now.
pitch it. What happens?
All right, so opening scene. It's dark.
So the thing is so the Babysitter Unalivers is this kid. They had the babysitter. They had a party. A lot of like premarital hijinks, like in Friday the 13th, take place. He finds a way to unalive them, but then he finds a way to resurrect them and unalive them, and he just keeps onning them and offing them because he is triggered because they kept waking him up all night long. Every time he falls asleep, he wake up. So that's the gist of it, and that's why it's called the Unalivers. He resurrects them, then he takes them out. Resurrects them, takes them out. So he's just trying to torment them. That's who I think we need in the Babysitter Unalivers.
That just sounds like a bad parent. That sounds like a lazy parent. It was like, you know what, kids, I'm gonna get one back at you.
Full disclosure: the Babysitter Unalivers may sound like the Quicksilver method from Karate Kid 3. Win a point, lose a point to give maximum suffering. That's what the Babysitter Unaliver is going to do. But anyway, I digress. We'll see. Maybe in a future Halloween installment we'll get that. But
Somebody at A24 just saw your pitch and is
There it is.
ripping it off, and they're like, "Look, executives."
which
Is
is
that
interesting.
babysitter with 2 T's? Yeah. No, that's baby cider. Dang it. Let's start all over.
Maybe if we just put 2 D's and they're sitters, we won't get sued.
It's hard to sue you at that point. It's like, Your Honor, it's clearly misspelled. My client has no idea what he was doing. He was completely smashed when he wrote this script, and then it got greenlit. We're so sorry. Please, mercy of the court.
Oh, I'd like to see that. But anyway, so yeah, let's jump back. So we talked, I don't think we're going to talk about a Halloween. You rewatch it every year. It's great. I think give Halloween 2, directed by Rick Rosenthal, a chance because it still has that John Carpenter DNA on there. Give that a chance.
No,
But then
it's
again,
good. There's nothing wrong with Halloween 2. Watch it. You'll have just as good a time as watching Halloween 1. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Then we got Season of the Witch, which, Mario, when did it start? Because, like I was saying, it was so hated when it first came out. And it literally was because it wasn't Michael Myers, not because it was a bad movie per se. Or was it bad at the time? But Joe Bob still hates it. But
No, he came around on it. He likes it now.
He does?
Yeah, if you watch the last episode where they actually played it, he likes it now.
Oh, man, that duty-free Halloween Season of the Witch song, Silver Shamrock song that they sang is just it lives in my head rent-free. It was so good. Danhausen had a cameo in there. It was so freaking good. But when did Season of the Witch start getting this revival?
I have no idea. I think for a lot of people, they always loved it. I think if you were a horror fan or an aficionado, you had no heat. You never had heat with it. Even folks maybe that were disappointed that there was no Michael Myers. I think most horror fans liked it. Mm-hmm. You always heard the Silver Shamrock song at school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Folks were always rocking that song.
Yeah. Once you heard that piano, didn't ding, 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 ding.
Making up
you're
their
like,
own lyrics.
All right. It's exciting.
I don't know when it came. All of a sudden became popular, but I mean, it's just one of the many things that just circles back around and is revisited. They're like, oh, this is good, actually.
Yeah, and it's holding up really well. And
It's a
those
great
masks.
soundtrack. Tom Atkins, who's a great lead. John Carpenter's best lead. I think he always cast him because he just looks like him. You know? He's like his doppelganger.
Weren't you in that movie? No, I just directed.
But yeah, it's a solid movie. Had it just been called Season of the Witch and they didn't include it, it would have been way more of a hit and regarded better, probably, you know?
I guess, would it be in a sense, can you compare it to like when Friday the 13th, when you, in the second one, it was like, oh, it's Jason's mother that's the killer, not actually Jason. And then they changed it up? Was it something like that to the community?
I mean, I think so. Because they had a little bit. The only nod they had in it was they were actually watching Halloween on the movie, so they acknowledged it was happening, at least in a universe where Halloween was a movie, right?
Yeah.
So very possible. The interesting thing I found about Halloween, the franchise, is they're all in chunks. Like Mario, this would have been a perfect machete cut for you. I think it would work really well, right? Because you got Halloween and Halloween 2 as a chunk. Season of the Witch is its own chunk. You Return, Revenge, and Curse is a chunk. Then you get H2O and Resurrection, which is a chunk. Then you got the 2 Rob Zombies chunk, and then you got the David Gordon Green trilogy, which is its own chunk.
That's a lot of chunk.
It's a lot of chunks. It's a lot of chunks. And now you brought up A24, right? I think Blumhouse is. Are they selling the film rights? But A24 is in the running, and now they're talking about a series.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I mean, I think they want to do a series and a movie, and they want to do a Michael Myers verse. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
We're in that. That's the times we live in.
Facts.
The IP times.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild that they're gonna do it again. I mean, to me, how do you do it again?
Yeah.
How do you book this reboot, reseek? What is it? How do you do this again? It's like you said. There's been 10 chunks already. They've rebooted this countless times.
Prequel.
If you look in the first movie of the last trilogy, the David Gordon Green trilogy, one character even calls it out. It's like, one guy stabbed like 3 people 30 years ago. What's the big deal? You know, in this age where people in the age that we live in now, it's like there's nothing. How do you make Halloween matter again?
Yeah.
So Mike in the chat, Museum of Now, he's like, there's a lot of buzz recently that Halloween Ends was originally going to be Michael Myers' mask, a shamrock mask for all that Corey stuff, which again, I found it interesting that Halloween Ends, which was the third in the David Gordon Green chunk, and it had a 3 in it, was very similar, and it had a vibe that it could almost be a sub-chunk to that chunk, where if you would have just called it the Corey Cunningham's, like come up with the Scarecrow Stabber or something like that, it could really stand alone. But I think seeing what Mike is how to book it, I think that's how you book it. You get everything you can, but once you do this is like Daffy Duck doing his one stunt when Bugs Bunny's like, that's beautiful, I can't believe it. He's like, I know, but I can only do it once. Yeah. Right? So I think you got to throw it all in. You got to acknowledge the past and acknowledge the present. So I would book it, if it's going to be a series, 10 episodes where you're just bringing it all together. You got the silver Shamrock masks. You can bring back, I think you need to bring back Jamie. I think that was a pretty strong story. Not even Jamie Lee Curtis, but the character of Jamie, right? From Return, Revenge, and Curse. Yeah. They kind of left that hanging. And I do remember when I was younger, and I think it started in Revenge when the man in black with the boots and stuff, and they got into the cult. But they never really leaned into that. Lean into that, right?
And then bring that back from there.
Yeah, bring all the masks back. Have Rob Zombie play a character in that, right?
Cameo the heck out of it, bro. Like you said, put Shatner up there, and
just make it really meta, So almost like a YouTuber is going to make this documentary, and he starts revisiting all these different movies, and then that's when stuff starts going to happen. Like he goes to visit Busta Rhymes, and Busta's like, "Man, I don't want to talk about that." And so just I think you got to just bring it all in. But it can't be. The point being is you can't reboot it as a film. A series is really all you got, and I don't want them to do like they did with Scream. I heard the Scream MTV series was fine, but it didn't. It was definitely trying to pull a new generation, not honor the past. But we're going to get into this in a little bit as far as like IPs and stuff. maybe we need to stop honoring the past. Mario, you said this, and then one of the directors from VHS 94 came right out, and he's like, you see what I mean? Don't tell me that you have IP burnout. The problem is you're just going back to these IPs that are too old. That they're too old.
This is true.
Shelf life's done.
Right.
This is true. I mean, you're talking. We're in the year of Barbie, biggest
Right.
movie of all time, based on an IP, not a new IP, but we've never seen a Barbie movie. So
No.
a Barbie movie becomes an event. We just over the weekend, Five Nights at Freddy's is huge
Yeah, right.
because no one's ever
It
seen that
busted
movie.
box office
Yeah.
on a day-and-day release when people could have stayed home and watched it on Peacock.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's still over 100 million worldwide.
Yeah.
You talk
So
about
it's
so
a-
classic. That's
People don't have IP burnout. It's that they're burned out of the IPs that you keep cranking out over and over.
192.
They want to see new things. People want to see new things.
Yeah.
IPs
no,
are familiar, you know.
Right. Yeah. So
Here's
if it was Jump the Shark, Abbott and Costello meet Michael Myers. Because that's pretty much what happened with the Universal monsters, right? They're like, well, this is all we got. Like, we've done everything with these guys. Well, did you do it with Abbott and Costello? No, but I think we can't come back from that. Well, you're sure it'll be fine.
Mike has no interest in Barbie.
Michael.
Mike has no interest in Barbie. Mike, the sets are cool. That's all I can. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah, I mean, stole all the pink.
Yeah.
Oh, and there was 2 Scream shows. I wonder if that was a season 1 or season 2, or if that was actually 2 different shows.
So here's
understand.
the thing about Halloween. I don't see how they can reboot this honestly in an honest
No.
way. But I do have a pitch. Whoever ends up with the rights, I feel, is it going to be A24? Possibly, I don't know, Miramax or Blumhouse again. I don't know. They just who knows? But they've done this over and over, and I think that in 1978, when did it come out? 76. This was the most terrifying thing that anybody ever thought of. Was a mental patient escaped the asylum and just killed you in your house.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
That was terrifying back then. So what's terrifying today? Here's my pitch for the reboot of Halloween.
Let's go.
You do it exactly the same, except instead of a butcher knife, Michael Myers finds an AR-15.
Oh,
Are you reading from
Yes.
the paper?
Otherwise,
Because
exactly the same.
yeah. That's actually truly terrifying.
it is because he's wearing a mask.
So you can have Michael Myers escapes from the whatever he does. Same gimmick. What does he flip the car over?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like he's going from gun to gun. Finds somebody's sidearm, escapes there, gets into somebody's house, finds their AR, finds their shotgun, and it's the same thing, but Michael Myers is finding guns. So that's my pitch.
I'm
That's
already
to me,
scared.
that's truly terrifying.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you think it comes, I mean, people, I think everybody always thinks that they're living in the worst times, and everyone's saying that these are really scary times. And I think everybody, I mean, it could be argued that, you know, when we were little, hiding under desks with the fear of things coming from the sky the day after kind of stuff, we're so I think everybody's terrifying times. But do you think that, like right now, with the amount of information that's being fed to us, that we really need to keep the horror kind of fun? Because real life is pretty scary, and it can't be something that's already been retread. Like you said, I think we got to go back to like a little bit of escapism. Because Mario, when you're saying that, I was thinking that is truly terrifying. That's scary because that feels as close to real as possible. But when growing up, did we really feel like this could happen?
That's where the crossover.
Well, that was scary. That was the part that terrified us, wasn't it? The thought that this, I mean, it's completely plausible that a person could just escape the mental asylum and show up at your house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It didn't happen maybe that often on a daily basis, but it's completely doable. Anyway,
People now are like checking their Zillow going, you know what, honey, maybe we want to live in a different zip code. We're too close to that one mental hospital.
Well, I grew up in Long Island, very, very close to a mental hospital, and I can tell you that that is a specter that always kind of hung over the town, especially with the kids, right? Because we came from the age where your parents would kick you out of the house and say, I don't want to see you at home until the street lights are on. And I was not I am still not a fast runner. So all it took was all the small little kids saying, I think I just saw somebody hop over the fence, and everybody would run. And then I was just like, no. And I'd be looking like Chunk was in Stand By Me, just running and not being able to make it. So in my mind, that stuff always felt very plausible. But I wasn't sure for like if you didn't have brothers tormenting you, if everybody kind of felt that.
Player 4 has entered the game.
Meg White, what's up?
What's up, Meg
How's
White?
it going?
Meg White. Why is that stuff?
Yeah, so she prefers more campy, wouldn't happen, but I'm also a wuss when it comes to horror. See,
It's
I
like
think
you have to know what you're getting into. Because here's the thing:
literally.
it's like I feel again, like I don't know if we're done with the Halloween spot, but it's like I don't know that you can do it again. I don't think you can do it again. I think that was its time and place. But when you watch something like Terrifier works in its own space. It's doing something different, and it's pulling from Halloween. It's pulling from all the best of those movies, but becomes its own thing and becomes totally plausible because it's, again, the thing that made Halloween so terrifying was the randomness.
Yeah.
This person just showed up to kill you. You did for no reason. It wasn't like, oh, your mother did this 20 years ago and now we're here to kill you. No, it was just for nothing you did or thought of or anything you could have even said throughout the day. Surprise, I'm here to kill you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's what Terrifier does, except that it just amps everything up so much to an uncomfortable degree.
I think that's what it is, right? I mean, we know the fear of clowns. Clowns pivoted from, funny to horror. Mm-hmm. Somewhere around Pennywise, right? The original Pennywise. But yeah, you're right. Art the Clown just does something different that's very, very unsettling. But yeah, I think we should once we put this Halloween spot, I think we gotta give Terrifier its own thing. But we'll put this to bed. Mario, you said no, do not reboot Halloween. Let it rest. Charlie, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna go ahead and follow that one. I think I've seen as much as you can do with it. And it would be curious to see what they did with the series. And I think with the series, they would have to focus on each individual character, kind of like they did in The Last of Us. You know what I mean? That would show you like, here's what happened to this character and why they're this way. And then each episode show us, 10, 12 characters, and then you can put it all together in your head, sit on film.
Yeah. I just feel like that just takes away from the essential DNA of Halloween, which is just a random killer shows up to kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know that Halloween is a series at all, unless you do Season of the Witch. If you do Season of the Witch as a series, that makes sense to me.
They're doing Chucky as a series.
Chucky as a series.
But they're just throwing it. Yeah.
But Halloween is like a song. This random killer showed up to kill you one night. You know what I mean? You can listen to it over and over. But that's why I feel like the Rob Zombie ones didn't get over. It was too much backstory.
There's a lot of backstory. Yeah,
too
that's
much
why
backstory.
That's the closest you would get to a prequel is if you just go back and watch the Rob Zombie version.
First,
And it was like they were trying to make Michael Myers Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't want that.
No,
I don't want my cool heel killers mixed in with like real killers.
Right. Everybody knows Michael Myers is vegetarian, so he's vegan.
Exactly. So
we got quorum. I don't think I'm with you guys too. I don't want to see another Halloween film. If you're gonna do something with a series, I would the closest I'd get. There's a couple ideas you can go. I would like to give Corey Cunningham a redemption tour. You can put that in the series. Like you said, Season of the Witch is a series. I think that would be probably the top for me as well. And then maybe if you wanted to keep that Michael Myers thing in there, if you found a way to do a Wes Craven New Nightmare type thing.
Yeah.
But still keep it like Meg was talking about it. Like, I don't know if not necessarily campy, but
Cabin
something that you can,
like Cabin in the Woods is
I'd like
hilarious.
to see it.
That's one of the best movies ever.
Oh my God. I think people are going to be talking about that, years from now, and they'll probably forget the director by then that he got canceled, and then just enjoy the film. But I'd like to see Michael Myers go meta, but that would be 3, and I would only accept a series. New Nightmare series. Anthony's there with me.
What's up, Anthony?
Just get that. That's all I'd want to see with that. Do you guys have a favorite before we jump out of the Halloween? Out of all those chunks, do you have a favorite?
I mean, my favorite chunks are Halloween 1 and 2, and Halloween 3 is its own chunk. I think everything after that. I like the David Gordon Green trilogy. I think it's fine, but anything between all of those, I really don't care for. I don't really like 4, 5, and 6. Don't really do anything.
Get way out there. Those are way
Halloween H2O was pretty bad. Halloween Resurrection is okay in a campy way. Busta Rhymes doing karate on Mike Myers. But Halloween 1 and 2, I think is a solid. What do you call 2 movies?
Duality.
It's a solid
dyad.
A solid dyad of
dyad.
Halloween 3 is great. Just drop Halloween 3. Just call it Season of the Witch. Can you imagine if you just called it Season of the Witch and then like you go see that movie and Tom Atkins is at the bar drinking scotch and it's like on the screen and it's like, well, tonight Halloween starring Jamie Lee Curtis. Everybody would have popped for that.
Totally did that one. Yep.
Everybody would have popped for that. Instead, they were just booing because
Halloween starring Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
Yo, need to come check me out, son.
I'm
over here busting Michael Myers.
Yeah. But I feel like this one might be done. I don't know. A24, like if maybe they got an interesting director to do something with it, Ari Aster or one of those guys to try and think of another idea. But I don't know because it has to go back to the original premise, which is the randomness of it.
Here's the guy that did Cloverfield, the new reboot of Cloverfield and Star Trek.
That was Drew something. Drew Goddard?
Drew Goddard?
Yeah.
John Woo? No, John Woo.
No, John Woo did Face Off. But yeah, how do you get back to just that randomness? And that's what's scary. And the more story they add, the more backstory, I just feel like it just gets more muddled, and I don't know what's left to pull from that.
It definitely has to take a break, no matter what they do, even if it's a series. I think a break would be nice, just because I think people are pretty divisive on that last Halloween Ends. So let it take a break. I think that people are going to start enjoying that when you stop looking at it kind of like Season of the Witch. I think as time goes on, people are going to just want to see more Corey Cunningham story in there. Mike was saying I'd take a series where the Halloween movies exist and the show follows a copycat influencer. See, that's what I mean. You can getting a little bit meta with it. They're not. It's tough because I see what you're saying too, Mario. Right? That you got to just get back to that original feel. But we've talked about this before, right? When we were talking about Miami Connection, and I was like, man, how do you make Miami Connection? And you said it, right? It's like you can't just say you're going to make something like Miami Connection. It just has to happen. It's literally the 1.21 gigawatt.
They set out for world peace. That's what they were trying to accomplish with Miami Connection.
Yeah. They weren't looking for a campy film that years later.
They weren't even trying to make an entertaining action film. Their goal was world that when this movie was released, it would achieve world peace. And they fell short of that. And what they got was a great movie
Yeah.
instead of world peace.
That's a fair trade-off.
Yeah, it's as good as you can hope for.
Sacrifice, guys. You gotta watch film or you want world peace. Come on.
But let's jump over to what we're starting to touch on that. Oh wait, before we go, how come they're not showing Halloween 24 hours straight like they do with A Christmas Story? Because I notice Beetlejuice is the movie of choice to play 24 hours straight right now for Halloween.
Really?
I don't know if you guys knew that. Yeah.
Brought
They're
to you
doing Beetlejuice.
Brought to you by Hot Topic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably why they sponsored it.
So goth, bro.
But like, why does Halloween not get to that 20? Because I think that is something, no matter what, you're always going to watch Halloween. I think the funny thing is they want to make a little bit of money. Just have a theme screening every year, and people are going to go see the original. People are going to go see Season of the Witch. People are going to see the throwback movies more than they're going to see these new movies that are dropping.
Definitely.
So you don't really need to remake it. But I think a Halloween special 24-hour marathon probably would do really well.
Surely.
So, but let's jump over to what you were talking about and this was on the Joe Bob Halloween special this year with All Hallows Eve, was Terrifier, Art the Clown. He's in the running for that fourth face on our Mount Rushmore of horror. And
he's getting there.
He is. Charlie,
he's the real deal.
Are you familiar with Art the Clown?
I am. I had, speaking of last year, Halloween, so the coworker I was working with, he full on paste painted everything, and bro, it was spot on.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good.
What's up, B Rose? That's all good. We'll get you next time.
B Rose.
So you saw Terrifier. You saw the original Terrifier?
Yes.
What'd you? Well, I mean, we're all sporadic here because I have not. Jeff's just watched All Hallows Eve, which was the origination of Art the Clown. I've seen Terrifier 1 and 2, and you've seen Terrifier 1?
Just one. That movie was whack for me because it was like The Hills Have Eyes and it had a baby. So it was like scary clown redneck. You know what I mean?
It is.
It was like, yeah.
Terrifier is something different. It's something different. Like that's the whole thing. Is like that's why to me this is the reinvention of the slasher. This is what Halloween should be. It can't be because Terrifier is already this.
Yeah.
It's using those original premises and concepts and pushing them to 11. The randomness, Jeff. You got to watch Terrifier 1 before you go. You're going to go to the screening, right?
Yeah.
You're going to go see Terrifier 2.
You get to see it on the big screen.
He's going to see Terrifier 2 next week. There's a screening.
Top.
Chuckles, if you want to go, it's on Wednesday. Come through.
I'm in.
But like, it's Terrifier 2. So I rewatched Terrifier 1 the other night. Actually, let's just do this in order. What happens in All Hallows Eve, please? Because I have not seen that one. Jeff.
Yeah, so I was actually, after watching All Hallows Eve, which is basically an anthology film built around Art the Clown, and he's not in all three, but his presence is at least in all three. But then it looks like the third film in the anthology is the prequel / short of what became Terrifier. I was trying to find the origins because I'm like, how have I missed this guy? But then if you go through and read the history, he's just like out of nowhere. So I'm going to read this. The character of Art the Clown first appeared as a supporting character in the 2008 short film, The Ninth Circle, which Leone wrote and directed. And they talked about that. Leone later wrote and directed a short film called Terrifier, which featured Art as the main antagonist, released in 2011. And those shorts were combined into the 2013 anthology All Hallows Eve. So if you watch All Hallows Eve, you get the two original Art the Clown shorts and then a weird random one in the middle about an alien invasion. And then at the end, there's just a picture of Art the Clown. That's really the only connection. Sorry, spoiler alert. So that's this, like, Art the Clown has been like percolating for a long time. But anyway, the third short in that anthology, which was the Terrifier short. So Art the Clown, this girl just is, she goes to get gas. Great premise of like the horror movie. You know, an abandoned gas station. You're not sure about the attendant, and he just kind of like shows up like in the woods. Which, remember, Mario, when we actually wrote a clown short as well about the randomness of just like, what if you saw something like a clown just in the middle of the woods? And ironically, we did this in what, 2011.
This was a while
when
ago.
we were talking, it was 2011, right when the same thing. So it was in the zeitgeist.
Yeah, there's I mean, like the thing, you watch the Terrifier 1, it's low budget, but you really can't tell. He does, Damien Leone, like I said, I think he's a talent. You can't really tell that this is a low budget movie because of the way things are sort of framed and blocked and all that. But here's the thing about Art the Clown that you notice once you watch Terrifier. Most killers, they're known for like a weapon, right? Mm-hmm. They got some kind of a weapon, a glove or a machete or whatever, kitchen knife. Art just has a garbage bag full of crap.
Yeah, he can get you in anything. He can blast you. He can blast you. He can cut you. He can chop you. He can slice you.
It's literally just a garbage bag full of stuff. And he goes into the bag and pulls out random items, and that's like his weapon of choice.
That's the nod to the clown.
Yeah. But at the same time, there's so much. You have not seen Terrifier 1, right, Jeff?
No, but I mean, if it's a spinoff of the short, I mean, I think I'll get the gist. So we can go spoilers.
Well, you've got your final girl, the girl that's in the skeleton dress, right? She's our final girl, and like you have that scene where it's a classic scene. It happens in every horror slasher movie. The final girl gets over on the killer, starts beating him down with a log or something. You know, she's like, she gets the best of him, and she's about to beat Art the Clown.
But wait.
And what happens?
There's more.
He pulls out a 45. What?
From his bag.
From his bag of garbage. And he just shoots her. And it just completely it flips the entire scenario that you're bought in on. You know what I mean? And
well, it's funny you say that. You were talking about that earlier, right? You're just like, what can you do? It's just like the escape, like the mentally deranged person got this, insert the blank of the weapon you're scared of. Where in the 70s, the 80s, it was a knife, and now it was a pow pow, right? We don't have to say it so we don't get blocked, but it was a pow pow pow, right?
Yeah.
And that was never really been done before, has it? That's completely new.
It's just that, like, he understands what you're expecting, and he'll flip it right there, and that's just smart directing, you know. And like I said, I texted you the other night, it has the most gruesome kill you're ever going to see in any movie ever.
And dude,
you'll know it when you see it.
That's so hard to believe, and yet I believe you at the same time that not that it's not going to be gruesome, that it's the most gruesome, because in that short, there's just this unsettling noise. So like she goes, the gas station guy chases off Art the Clown, and then all of a sudden he starts hearing a noise inside the gas station. So she's like, go ahead, I'm gonna go see what's going on there. And then something happens that she has to go back in there, and as you're going in there, there's this unsettling noise, and it just keeps getting louder. And it's like, I don't like what this sound is, but I'm moving towards it because I gotta know what this sound is. And as you get closer, as the viewer, you want to know what the sound is, and you don't want to know what the sound is at the same exact time. And as it gets closer and closer, and here's the spoiler, you open it up, and Art the Clown is in there, and he has that disgusting bag of tricks that he has, and he just has a hacksaw, and he's just hacking away at the guy's neck, and it's just like, and then you realize you were hearing a bone saw in the back of a gas station, and there was just like parts everywhere. But what was even worse about that, and like the best worst, because it's a horror movie, is the way he was smiling while he was doing it. He was just like the cat who brought you a dead mouse, or just like the kid that's like, look, I'm doing it. And there's just parts everywhere. And you're like, it's a perfect title, man. It was terrifying.
Yeah. It's something different. It's, I think that, speaking of, the rebooting Scream, everything that's being rebooted, this is a slasher movie rebooted, in my opinion. This is him taking the genre and doing something different, but also doing the exact same thing.
Trying to fit as much as he can into the 90 minutes or whatever runtime is.
Yeah.
It's like, have you seen this one? How about this?
It's just
pulling it out of his bag. How about this?
The
one?
kills, in those old slasher movies, the kills were the star.
Yeah.
The kills is what you would go to see. I mean, the creative kills. But yeah, I watched Terrifier again. It's got its own font. The font is aggressive.
Yeah.
And if you watch,
that's a good word.
It's got an aggressive
Even the font
font.
is scary,
but it's also kind of silly. So when you watch it, it's like a clown font, but it's aggressive, and you're just like, this is like trying to tell me it's scary, but it is scary because the stuff that's in it, it's like it's the worst stuff you're gonna see, and I can't explain it to. I'm trying to explain to people how it is, because it's not that it's scary, and it's not that it's even. It is pretty grotesque, both of them. It's just the way they do it, and it has a rhythm to it that's unsettling. You know what I mean?
And to Jeff's point, there's a lot of ASMR. It's like you're hearing it, and then it forces your mind to go, "What the hell am I listening to?"
Yeah.
And then
that sound just getting louder and louder.
And then,
and like the end of Terrifier, where it's sort of like just ups it to 11 for no reason. And I'm gonna spoil it. I'm gonna spoil it for you, Jeff. You haven't seen it, right?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
So
for it.
at the end of Terrifier, he's finally gonna get caught by the police, and then he unalives himself, and he ends up in the morgue, right? And they're like, "Oh, it's the Terrifier guy." Oh God!
check his teeth.
And then he wakes up and chokes the coroner, and it's just like, that's the end. It's like, what is going on? What? It's like, it did all the things that these movies do, but it did it to it's like, instead of like, why is Terrifier back in part 2? Why is he alive?
He was dead.
It's like they just did it all at the end of the first movie, and they just amped it up.
So there's this that goes along with this. I'm sorry. It's called The Censors, and it's on Hulu. And it's about this woman that has to, she works for a movie editing company, and she watches these horrible, grotesque movies all day long, right? And she has to like sign off on them. Yes, this is okay for the public to see. No, in my notes, we're gonna have to get rid of the dissection scene and all of that, like that kind of censor. But then she watches this one movie that is an actual memory of hers of something that she did like back in the day. And I'm not gonna go any further because this one, I don't want to spoil it. This one's really good. It's kind of a usual suspects on behind you. So, but
all right,
I have
censors.
So censors.
Put it on the list. Cue it up. Another thing about jumping back to Terrifier and Charlie, there's going to be a little bit of spoiler on that, and I don't know if it's going to be necessarily a spoiler because at the end of All Hallows Eve, it's kind of realized what is happening here. And again, maybe it was just because it was a double feature on the last drive-in. It was late at night. So what Damien Leone did after he combined these three shorts, he had his rapper, right? He had the babysitter rapper story that they were basically, the whole thing was a VHS tape gets dropped into the Halloween bag. They want to watch it. They pop it in. And of course, all three of these shorts are on there. But then you slowly start to realize that this VHS is like possessed. So the rapper is, all of a sudden Art the Clown like pops up on the TV, and then the girl who just watched the tape that she shouldn't have watched, and Art the Clown slowly starts like going towards her, and like Freddy Krueger, like somehow he just yes, he pops into the real world, but you can't see him. Like you look on the TV and he is there, but you can't see him behind it. And anyway, so that's how it happens. But then they take it to 11 for no reason at all. So the credits start rolling, and all of a sudden, it looks like you're watching a TV, and now your tracking is messed up.
Oh.
And then for a second, I got ribbed. I was like Andy Kaufman. I was like, why is the TV messing up? And then all of a sudden, Art the Clown pops up on the TV, and he starts walking towards you. And he found a way that, you know how those pictures always look like they're making eye contact with you?
Yes.
No matter which way you look at it?
Yes.
I don't know, and Mario, you may know, I don't know how Damien did this. The way he shot Art the Clown, it looked like he was walking towards you. And if you stared at the TV, you were literally locked eyes with Art the Clown. And it looked like the same thing that just happened was about to happen to you.
All right, I gotta watch that.
Mona Lisa of horror.
I am just
there.
right now. I'm just I think Damien Leone, I think, is a real talent. I think that he's doing it all himself. He's getting himself over, with these horror movies, and he's doing it exactly how they used to do it. They were low budget affairs that were about the gore, not about the backstories.
Right.
Yeah. And Mike just said it. Can you really spoil Art the Clown? Because he finds a way to take that leap of logic and just let you suspend that, and you realize it's not possible. Then there's that part of you just like, wait, how did he just come back? Like you get taken for a ride in this world where Damien Leone is writing the rules, and like you said, he offs himself, but then he shows up, and there you go. That's the end of it. But the interesting thing is, so in 2015, after the All Hallows Eve shorts that he made, he launched a campaign, a crowdfunding website to finance Terrifier, so that he wanted to make that original. And then a filmmaker actually found out that he was trying to raise it, and he had saw the film, and he's like, no, he gave him the money in exchange for a producer credit.
Actually,
so
yes, no, that's true. But here's an inspirational story, filmmakers. It wasn't just that he actually did do the GoFundMe, and he did not get the money. He did not.
Really?
He did not reach his goal, and it was another producer that reached out to him and actually funded.
Do you know
the
what the
movie.
goal was? What was the goal?
I think the Terrifier original budget was $35,000. $35,000.
Like that's like
Mike.
a credit card. That's like Kentucky Fried Movie on.
Yeah, we did B2B videos that cost less than that.
Right.
It's funny now reading this Terrifier story, and Chuckles, you just said it. It was pretty much the exact same story for the Kentucky Fried Theater guys when they were trying to pitch Airplane. They tried to pitch Airplane. They were trying to pitch Airplane for so long, and people were like, "Get out of here with this!"
Dude.
And they had John Landis, and then they're like, "Well, just make your own." And then they did Kentucky Fried Movie, and then they still couldn't get it funded, even though they got a random, angel investor to invest in Kentucky Fried Movie, and it made a profit. People still wanted nothing to do with Airplane, and a lot of people ate a lot of crow on that.
Right.
And I think this is going to be the horror version of that, because I don't think Art the Clown's going anywhere anytime soon. I feel like he hasn't even hit his peak yet.
No, I think that he's about to peak. I think with Terrifier 3, that Terrifier 3, that poster that leaked, it's a Christmas movie. Terrifier 3 is a Christmas movie. I think that's going to be huge.
Really?
That's going to be huge.
Let's go.
How much of a surprise was that on you, right? Because we think of Art the Clown, we think of horror, we think of Halloween.
Yeah.
What a swerve, So, Charlie, just so you know, they're re-releasing Terrifier 2 on screens. That's going to have the Terrifier 3 teaser attached to it.
Right.
And then they let this poster slip that it's going to be Terrifier 3 is going to be a Christmas movie, which originally, ironically, Mario, again, sometimes you're a prophet. You were trying to make Terrifier 2 a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
So they just want Art the Clown to be all year long, but
You kids sit down, shut up, and eat your stuffing. Terrifier's on.
I'm telling you, Jeff, you're gonna go see. Well, I think you should sneak in a Terrifier 1 viewing if you can before the screening of Terrifier 2.
I know
But
it is
because
tomorrow is all Halloween. That should be the Halloween viewing.
I realized it's a pretty short movie, but it's impressively made. It's impressive. I thought you didn't need to see Terrifier 1 before Terrifier 2, but you actually kind of do because it picks up right after.
Does it?
Yeah, immediately after.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween 2 the next day in the hospital kind of thing.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis all
And then
hungover.
it just pushes it so much further.
Walk of shame.
Anyway, it's a short movie. It's 1 hour, 24 minutes. Squeeze it in.
That's really quick.
Yeah.
And then Terrifier 2 is almost 3 hours, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's extremely long. It just... Yeah.
It just shows you just got to catch that producer on the right day. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna need more. Give me more. You know what? Let's go. I don't need it any longer. We're like a short movie.
What is it about that with this clown that it's changing the game? Like you would have thought, you would have never, if you would have gone to a bunch of people, and that's probably why he didn't raise his money. Right? We everybody knows who Pennywise is. We've had 2 Pennywise the clowns, so we had the scary clown. If somebody pitched you, I have this horror movie idea for a scary clown. Most of the producers, and that doesn't mean anything because most producers don't know shit. They would have said, "No, clown, crazy clowns have been done."
It's been done.
They would have never done it. But like when you watch Art the Clown, I think Mike, you're on here. You've brought this up before. Like, Art the Clown is terrifying because even though he's a clown, he feels like somebody you would run into at Denny's at 2 a.m.
Well, here's the thing. He's not a clown. He's a mime.
Yes, that's true. He's a mime,
He's a mime.
too.
It's a completely silent
Which is even
performance.
scarier because old boy's not going to say anything to you at all.
He just acts things out.
Yeah.
He does a lot of fake laughter and all that stuff,
Yeah, maybe that's what makes it a little different, right?
And he's got a random bag of garbage that he kills you with. It's a mime with a random bag of garbage. It's good, but like, and it's just also the over the top. Man, I don't even know who what you described in All Hallows Eve.
I
just
loved it,
gets pushed up.
It's kind of a way of also the writers seeing what they can get away with.
Leveled up multiple percent, hundreds of percents in each film. It just keeps going up and up. And it's just like, what am I? Yeah, it's just crazy. And that's what they said. This is the evolution of this is called the mega slasher. It's bigger, it's bolder, it's grosser. They just push it as far as they can go.
And also, are they making movies to, hey, just, put your sign on it and then there's your movie? Or I want somebody to go back and watch a movie over and over and over again. You know what I mean?
I think Damien Leone's doing, you can tell he's got a love for it. He's doing, and plus he's the special effects guy. So he's like, he learned how to
even
direct.
better. It's like, yes.
So he could shoot his special effects.
Awesome.
But I just think he's a real talent. I think he's doing something original that is kind of flying under the radar, and I think he's gonna do some cool stuff.
If you listen to him, you can tell it works because he's such a fan of the genre too, right? And when he got, we were talking about like what could you really do to reboot Halloween, and I think obviously Friday the 13th is going through something pretty similar. But man, did you see the excitement generated when all he said was like, "I'd like to take a stab at remaking Friday the 13th."
No pun intended.
And yeah, and then all of a sudden people were like, Damien Leone. He actually said that in an interview. And then all of a sudden, all the trades were picking it up. People were tweeting about it. It's the most true, like genuine excitement, not like remember berries and nostalgia excitement for Friday the 13th. People are like, oh man, that could be cool. That could be something
because
different.
he is actually making a slasher now. He has taken the reins of that. Nothing else is even close. Like, nothing is even close to that. The last Halloween has nothing on what Damien Leone is doing, the actual true-to-life DNA of what a slasher is, but updated 30 years.
Is there a definition?
Mutated 30 years.
This is a slasher movie versus slasher /
Jeff, is this from our thing? I see what you're wondering. Is that from
It is. I was trying to find a picture of Art the Clown to put behind me, and then I was just like, oh, wait. And then all of a sudden this popped up, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just going to leave this, because this was the time I was in drag, and I interviewed a clown that may have been a real Art the Clown inspiration there for a little while. Yeah, so I don't remember, Chuck. We got a tour of House of Torment, and we recorded that, so that was a good time.
I think I remember this. Those were your early years, Joe.
That's wild.
Yes. But yeah, when he threw his hat into the ring, and again, Mario, you predicted this too, right? You said you wanted to see him take a swing at one of these franchises because it'd be something completely different.
I think there's only a couple of people that would really excite me if they took a stab at it. Damien Leone is one, no pun intended. I think Ty West. I'd like if he touched one of those franchises. I think that'd be exciting.
Yeah.
And that's about it, honestly.
What about Guillermo del Toro? Like,
he's doing Frankenstein. Talk about resurrecting old IPs. Guillermo is resurrecting Frankenstein.
I could see him doing Frankenstein.
Don't slouch on Guillermo.
Yeah, did you see the casting for that?
No.
Let's see. It was actually let's see the casting on it. It was actually pretty dope. So it was Oscar Isaac is going to be Frankenstein. Spider-Man #2, Andrew Garfield is going to be... No, flip that. I think Andrew Garfield is going to be Frankenstein's monster, and Oscar Isaac is going to be Dr. Frankenstein.
What?
And Mia Goth is going to be the Bride of Frankenstein.
Okay.
And that's Guillermo del Toro. That's going to be... So, talk about resurrecting. Christoph Waltz is going to be in it.
Bruh.
It's going to be interesting. We'll see how that goes.
Yes. So, I'm in there. That sounds like a
I'll
good
watch
one.
it, sure.
Yeah.
I saw a pretty cool quote because there's always been the argument where people confuse. They're like, "No, you don't get it. Frankenstein's Dr. Frankenstein. That's not the name of the monster." But then somebody is like, "You really evolve your consciousness when you realize that Dr. Frankenstein was the monster." Whew.
Are you Jekyll or Hyde today? Which one are you? Take your pick, sir.
Oh man. So you guys any last thoughts on Terrifier? You guys gonna go? Charlie, you gonna join them?
I'm down
to go
to
check it out.
Come through. It's Wednesday at 7.
Oh, Down the Clown. I see what
Down
you did
the
there.
Clown. Yeah, actually I think I'm off in the evening. I think I worked the first part of the day, so I will ping you.
Ping me.
I'm really excited to see if they have a release date for that.
I don't think it's this year. But
it's not this year?
No.
So the only horror movie that we're getting at Christmas is Aquaman 2. Is that what you're telling me? Which, Mario, I don't know if you heard that. Speaking of that horror movie, is they said you can go watch that. It's going to be like watching Tango and Cash.
Oh, don't be dissing on Tango and Cash. That's a good movie.
That's the pitch
When
for
you
Aquaman 2.
fall asleep at 3 in the morning.
Tango and Cash?
Yes, that's the pitch.
I'll check it out. Who's Tango and who's Cash?
Yeah, that's what I want to find out. I don't know.
I'll do another Tango and Cash.
Because you got Aquaman, and then you got his brother, who looks like the OG Aquaman. That's, what's his name? Patrick Wilson. So, we'll see.
I hope Patrick Wilson.
Tango and Cash for a shoot is not good, but I mean, it's good as a novelty.
Dude, as
Yeah,
soon as
that-
they put glasses on Stallone, bro, I was like, what am I watching? I'm going to keep watching it, though. This is ridiculous.
Stallone played
I said, get down. Stay with my sister. Yeah, you're right. It was a hard watch, but whatever.
Who is Mike says he wants to see the Rocka Rocka Boys. Did a great job with Talk to Me. Mario, didn't you? That was The Hand, right?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I've heard nothing but good things about it, and it's
really
on
good.
so many movies to watch.
Yeah, we're going to need a
says he
list. I need a list.
I need a running
I
list.
need a running list. As long as everything that's free and available right now that I don't have to buy or rent, yeah, let's go ahead and make the list.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a short I was working on there for Mario. It's just like nobody rents anymore.
Rent it.
Yeah, rent it. You guys want to take a quick BRB?
Yeah, we could do one of those.
All right. We will be right back.
The Halloween Hall of Fame will continue after these messages.
The Halloween experts at Magic Manor have everything you'll need this year, including actual character masks from famous motion pictures. And they can show you the proper application of makeup to impress that special someone. Magic Manor's professional hand-painted custom masks start as low as $250. This Halloween, remember Magic Manor. Wigs, masks, makeup, costumes, shockingly authentic. Magic Manor, East Wind Mall.
Make Halloween fun with one-stop shopping at Woolworth or Woolco for your Halloween needs. Costumes from $1.83 to $3.99, like $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, superheroes, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and a new favorite for girls, Holly Hobby. You can get wrapped candies of every kind, bubblegum, lollipops, fun-sized candy bars. Get this Halloween record, sounds to make you shiver, just $1.89. Make Halloween fun and easy. Make just one stop at Woolworth or Woolco.
Great Halloween parties begin at Walgreens. Candy, party decorations, masks, costumes, makeup. Everything you need for Halloween fun now at Walgreens.
I'm Freddy Krueger, and you're invited to my special get-together. But beware, you may never leave. Dial this number now. I've got some grisly new tales for you. And if you're one of my lucky callers selected at random, you'll talk to me live while you're awake and safe. So dial this number now if you dare. Talk to me live. Freddy Krueger is waiting just for you.
$2 for the first minute, 35 cents each additional minute.
This morning, Billy looked like any other boy, but as the moon rose, he turned into a werewolf. He used new Pa's Halloween makeup kits. His friends did too. Look, Mike's a vampire. Amy's a ghost. Pa's makeup is safer than masks. It never blocks vision, and it's hypoallergenic too. So watch your kids turn into the creatures they really are with new Pa's Halloween makeup kits.
I knew I should have worn a costume. Yo, Bo Peep, what you got in your bag?
Introducing Roy Rogers' Big Chicken Deal. 2 plump and juicy pieces of fried chicken, hot, crisp fries, and a fresh baked biscuit. Roy Rogers' Big Chicken Deal, just $1.99.
Don't you even think about it.
Halloween's coming. What are you going to do about it? Whether you do a little or a lot, be an original this Halloween and find yourself at Hallmark.
Hallmark has a way.
And at participating Hallmark stores, get your hands on the Spooky Sounds tape, full of creepy sounds and Halloween theme songs. $1.95 with any $5 Hallmark purchase, only at participating Hallmark stores. It's a scream.
I'm Count Scary, and I bought 3 glasses for 39 cents from a participating Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers restaurant. Hand me my glasses. Not these glasses, Igor. Hand me the scary ones. And oh, they go so good with my tan.
Count Scary's 3D Party, Tuesday, July 6th at 8 p.m. only on Channel 4.
There's goblins, there's ghouls, there's pirates about. Halloween's coming, the trick-or-treaters are out. But look at that witch on Halloween night. She's the first one with a blinking pumpkin light. Pumpkin light flashes so everyone knows she is near. Pumpkin light makes Halloween safer and scarier this year. And pumpkin light safer for a spooky pumpkin too. Just pop it right in and watch your pumpkin go boo.
Pumpkin Light is available at Osco, Purity Supreme, Spags, and Leewards.
It was a Halloween party where fantasies come true. I put on Showtime makeup and did a dance or two. The boys and ghouls were hanging out like Vamp and Tigress too. My Showtime face was all in place then. Rock Angel, I saw you.
It's Showtime, the adult Halloween makeup. Showtime is hypoallergenic, more comfortable than masks, more fun too.
You know you are my fantasy, but I can't speak to you.
Make up a Halloween fantasy with Showtime makeup.
Halloween costumes from most stores have one built-in disadvantage. Anyone can buy the same costume. A costume from Ragstock, on the other hand, is unique because you selected yourself from a huge stock of recycled clothing. Create your own Dracula or Superman. Be a cowboy or a rock star, a tramp or a vamp.
Visit Ragstock at 327 State Street, Madison.
You want a lover with a slow hand. Want a lover with an easy touch.
You want a lover that'll spend some time.
There you go. Not some with a heated rush.
It's over now, dude. I'm telling you.
Oh man, that was a solid commercial break.
Yeah, that was good. Those were really good.
Yeah, I mean, how slow we talking though? Because if the hand is too slow.
This is a family show.
I'm sorry. I thought this was the break. We could get this HR bubble. HR bubble.
I had a catcher. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, that's scary.
What are you doing?
Floating head.
Hold on. Save that for as soon as we come back.
Don't even put the
terrifying.
green screen. just have his floating head, no green screen. Or yeah, make his head rotate like the pumpkin.
Like Jeff, I think you're glitching.
Looking good, buddy.
Do that gimmick when we come back. Hold on, wait.
Good.
Oh wow.
Okay. I'm trying to find the distance.
Yeah.
Here we go. Do it again.
I think I'm glitching.
What's happening here?
This is Five Nights at Jeffrey's. Forget Freddy's. That place is Disneyland compared to Five Nights at Jeffrey's.
Oh, that's even.
Welcome back to the Halloween special.
Look
Damn,
at that
Jeff.
ghost.
What is happening? What is happening in that photo?
Dude,
I don't think it's a photo. I think it just I think Art the Crown captured my soul somehow.
You're being memed. You're being memed right now.
All right, now I'm back.
Surprise, Memorial.
Oh my God. So let's jump over to the big story, which I don't know. We were uncertain how this was going to go down, but it went down big on Peacock and at the box office. Five Nights at Freddy's. We were talking about earlier the IP.
Yeah, but
that I go on record that I thought they were going to be a little bit too late because they waited so long to make it. Because Five Nights at Freddy's has been a thing for a long time, and I was like, did they miss the window? And man, was I wrong. They did not miss the window at all. This did bonkers box office. Charlie, did you get to see Five Nights at Freddy's?
I have not seen it yet.
You have not seen that on there yet?
I saw it.
I played the video game though. I played the video game. That's what got me excited about the movie. So
I don't know
your
anything
son
about the
is of age, right? That he was same as my son, right? I know they're neck and neck. The same thing, right? They played that game all the time.
It was one of more the spooky jump scare games. There's one that I play right now. It's Phasmophobia. And bro, oh man, there's like, you'll get something like talking your ear out here if you talk too loud.
the ghost can hear you or the entity. And it was like that back in the day. And it was like the good early days of starting of giving you a good audio visual experience in your video game instead of just like, shoot something or, jump this or whatever. It's a good one.
Yeah, there
and animatronics, like everybody went to Chuck E. Cheese or Showbiz, and that big rat scared the crap out of everybody. So
yeah,
when you're a kid and you went into that and you're like, I'm gonna have a good time, eat some pizza and get in a ball pit, and then they got this giant rat chasing after you. It's pretty terrifying.
He's kind of looking at you with like lifeless eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Like that, just exactly.
But you're right.
Like
it was always so unsettling when you were in these things. So I thought it was great that they leaned into it. But we grew up with the banana splits, so we were familiar with these giant creatures that were terrifying. Another reason I thought that they were going to be
what was it?
Yeah. Yep. Stigman the Sea Monster and all that stuff. But I thought they were a little late to the party too, just because there was a few movies like it that were rushed to the market, and one of them was What If the Banana Splits Turned Heel, which was like a South African movie. Ooh, and then the other one was the great Willy's Wonderland movie that we talked about in here before with Nicolas Cage.
I've
where
seen the trailer.
He didn't have a lick. Yeah. He didn't have a lick of dialogue, but it was great. It was a good one. So I wasn't sure how this was going to do, but it was really, I was wrong. But
try the video game.
One thing that
try the video game. I mean, it's still fun.
They lean into the video game. Like, so I used to, I played 2, and the whole thing with like trying to undo the bolts with your fingers. They play that into the movie. Like that's the first thing you see, and it just like it instantly brings you back to that. Like you got to do this as fast as you can, or else you're gonna get that jump scare.
Bro,
and they did that in the film like right out of the gate.
Yeah, if they make that game again, release it in VR, fire cut.
Oh yeah,
what I mean, that would. Kaboom boom. I said it here. I would like go partial royalties spread across dozen Cribbless. Thank you very much.
I don't think we've seen the last of Five Nights at Freddy's after this one, but Mario, I have some thoughts, and I think you and I are aligned on this, but what were your thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's?
I mean, the film I didn't really find that enjoyable. I preferred Willy's Wonderland. It was a bummer. It wasn't a fun movie. I think that there was a lot of
that's my list. Willy's
Josh
Wonderland.
Hartnett, the guy who was the main guy, the guy from Hunger Games. It was a sad story about losing his brother. I don't know. It just was. For me, it just didn't flow well. It wasn't a fun movie. It didn't really build to a great finish.
Sounds like It trapped in a Chuck E. Cheese.
Something like that. What's up, AGR? Yeah, poor man's Tom Holland for sure. That guy. That's a solid one.
AJR.
Game Theory said Game Theory was in the movie. I think, I guess because it's a video game, we have to hear more about that.
Well, there's YouTubers in the movie, and like the kids in the theater were popping for it. I was asking Lee from London's kid what's going on. He's like, oh yeah, that's that guy from this page. I just don't think I didn't enjoy it. I didn't think it was fun. Willy's Wonderland had all the fun that I was expecting from this movie. This movie didn't have that. Yeah, thumbs down.
I'm gonna have to. I'll try it. I'll
Jeff, what did you think?
See if my son wants to go see it.
Well, I think because like Charlie was talking about, the game was fun. The jump scares were fun, but there was this leaned into, even though it was PG-13, it was like a horror movie, but I don't know if it was like fun. Charlie, Mario, do we want to throw spoilers up since this is, even though they can watch it on Peacock any minute now? I mean, we won't lean too heavy into the spoilers, but there's one specific thing I do want to talk about. Yeah, Nick Cage not talking in Willy's Wonderland was great.
Spoilers.
They could not afford to pay him to talk.
Right. That was such a great story. Okay, I'm going to be in your movie, but I'm not going to memorize a single line of dialogue. I'm going to just emote with my body.
Haven't you seen the movie where I play myself?
Matt Pat was the waiter. Okay, I did not know that too. Game Theory was the waiter at Sparky.
Oh, you were the waiter at Sparky?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Lee's kid was. A lot of people were cheering at that part. Is that for real? No, that it couldn't possibly be. But anyway, yeah,
So
there was. It was somebody.
So you went to an Alamo screening. So they had the Freddy Fazbender's Pizza.
Yeah, they had the pizza boxes, and they had you got like a bunch of swag. You got like a little tiny hat,
some game tickets.
Anyway, all that stuff. But like, the kids were excited for that diner part.
So I was gonna go see it in the theaters, and then I ended up drinking. So anyway, I just watched it. I just watched it at home. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go watch it in theaters next week. But I kind of missed the having people around me thing happening, and it was like you said, it had an air of sadness. I feel like Kunu. I see some sadness behind those eyes. There's sadness behind those eyes because basically these little kids' bodies were jammed into these animatronics.
That they all died. They died in the ball pit. That's my theory.
It was just, it wasn't fun. You know? I don't see the fun in this movie. You've got a huge opportunity for fun when you've got animatronic horror robots possessed by the souls of young children. But, instead we're dwelling on the trauma and not on the fact that they're animatronic possessed robots.
Yeah, there was a lot of trauma. There was definitely some trauma in there. I did like the casting of Matthew Lillard, and I like what that turned out to be. That little bit of that. I don't want to give it fully away, Charlie. I want you to get the experience, but that was cool to have him booked in there too, right? That was the wink, wink, nod, nod to the Scream franchise in there. So that was cool to see him in there. But I don't know. I just kind of wish it had a little bit more fun, if that makes any sense. Even though it was a horror movie, like Meg in the chat was saying earlier, sometimes you want it to be a little bit fun. And I didn't feel like there were pops in here. Like there were pops for like, that's what happened in the game. And you recognize people like Game Theory, like Matt Pat talking about in there.
Yeah.
Like they had those pops, those recognition pops, but I just wanted it to have a little bit like a little bit of air of fun. And I was just like, it was a little sad. I mean, he wasn't going to get his brother back. It wasn't going to happen. And now granted, he had to deal with that trauma and then save his sister. So it had a little bit of redemption, but then you realize that, there's no getting back his brother. And I think it's almost like we all had to come to terms with that as an audience and as a character, that you're like, wow, this is it for him. So it's just like, there's that word again, heavy.
It was heavy. It was heavy. It was too heavy for a movie about animatronic robots at a pizza restaurant. For me. For my personal taste.
Watching a training video. The lighting in it looks like that keeps it scary the whole time. It's like it's really like a flashlight look, with the really low light and then just all up close and stuff. I don't know. That's what would freak me out because you don't know where's it coming from.
So this instantly made enough money that now all those Hollywood scumbags, executives that were like, nobody wants to be first, everybody wants to be second. This is the stage where everybody wants to be second. We're going to get another Five Nights at Freddy's. We're going to get the knockoffs. We're going to get porn knockoffs. What's the porn knockoff for Five Nights at Freddy's?
6 Nights at Freddy's. 6 Nights at Freddy's mom's house.
Five
Nights at Freddy's mom's.
Settle down.
Feel it back.
Charlie, was your boy interested in going to see it as an avid player?
So he's kind of easing his way into the horror genre. He's into like more like aliens. He's like that kind of scare. You know what I mean? He's not really into the slasher gore and stuff like that. But he's seen a couple of movies, and I suggested one the other night. And he watched it, and he was like, "Yeah, I liked it." So he's on his way.
He's on his way. If you guys were to try to introduce this generation into a horror movie, because this is going to introduce the next generation, like people that don't normally go to movies may go to the movies because they're like, oh, I recognize that. It's going to be interesting, Mario, your theory on how Minecraft's going to break the world. Yeah. Because now we see that Minecraft was another one that I thought they may have waited too long, but clearly if Five Nights at Freddy's did this, Minecraft is going to do bonkers business. But what would be your intro into horror movies for this next gen? What is this? What letter are we up to? Z? The last
letter.
Yes. What movie would you say, hey, if you like this, you should go see this? If you like Five Nights at Freddy's, you should go see blank. And no, not Five Nights at Soccer Moms.
That's one of those ones you watch more than once. I'm just gonna say.
I have no idea because I really didn't get the appeal of this movie, so I have no idea what I would recommend to somebody who liked this.
So you wouldn't feel comfortable
just someone
telling
that's
them
just coming into the watch the movie genre? Like, what would you recommend? Is that what your question?
Yeah, like right. What if you liked Five Nights at Freddy's, you will like this.
Okay.
Do you think somebody who liked Five Nights at Freddy's would Cabin in the Woods?
We'll go Cabin in the Woods.
It's pretty dope. Cabin in the Woods is dope.
It's got the that killer family that comes after early. Yeah, it just has
I don't think this is
funny.
necessarily is appealing because of its horror roots. I think that this is an IP. I think that this is I think what's happening is we're seeing the dam breaking on video game IPs. This year. This is the year. 2023 is the year it happened. Super Mario Brothers adaptation earlier this year broke the box office. This one is breaking the box office. Kids want to see video game IP movies.
Their video games.
Yeah. It's what they want.
Right.
So now you're going to see a rush on video game IPs. So I'm asking you guys, what video game IP is up for grabs next?
Like horror or not horror?
Doesn't even have to be horror. Anything. I think that this is what people want to see.
Call of Duty's been done, right? Like that one. Or anything like that's been done. Not necessarily have to be called Call of Duty. They've done Battlefield. Diablo.
I think
like Diablo 4 right now. If they would stay on that and ride that wave right now, I think that whole thing would take off. That'd be cool for me.
I feel like that would be a big, and that would be big budget fare.
Right. Yeah, you can CGI everything if you wanted to.
Look, The Last of Us was a hit show. That's doing.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Last of Us worked.
Nobody thought the Sonic movie was going to work, and now we're on part 3.
One. Yeah, more than one.
I think movie would do really well, and it'd probably be able to kind of stay in that lower budget fare. Is Among Us.
Ooh,
I know that's
Among
kind
Us.
of just mostly like a phone game, right?
As a movie.
Yeah. I think Among Us could work really well and capture that same vibe as Five Nights at Freddy's. If they find a way to, I don't know if it would necessarily, I don't know if you go animated or if you find a way to make it like some kind of CGI stop motion might be right?
Or crossover animation, like you're in the video game, like you kind of like Jumanji, next thing you know, you're in the video game. To get back out, you got to hack your way out. I don't know.
Fortnite. So Mario, just so you know, it's Among Us was, it's 2018, but actually, one of the creators said he's inspired by The Thing.
Who?
So of one of the creators of Among Us, the game,
gotcha.
was inspired by the Thing, because I think you can kind of tell by the title that it's among you, just like in the Thing. So I think that could be very introductory to that same crew that came out to see that. Jack Black is the next Freddy Fazbear. That could be interesting. If they kind of book, I'm surprised they didn't book a type character like that. But you're gonna have no problem booking somebody with now. Fortnite.
Fortnite would be insane. I mean,
if they make a Fortnite movie, that'll end humanity. Society will break down.
Yep, Fortnite. That's a good one.
You're gonna have people like just leaving their jobs to go stand in line for the first screening. Yeah.
Are you here to see Barbie? No, I'm here to see Fortnite.
Yeah, I think people would.
Yeah, everybody was standing in line playing the game on their phones while they're gonna go see the movie.
What you want to do is make a Barbenheimer moment and release the Fortnite and the Minecraft movie on the same weekend.
Ooh, Fortnite.
And all of a sudden, it just rips a hole in the space-time continuum.
Let's write that one, Mario. That'd be easy.
Write down. Mike suggested Valorant. I'm not familiar with that game. Call of Duty. That's another shout out. That's in there.
The Backrooms, yeah.
The Backrooms are scary by themselves.
The Backrooms. I think Mike is the one that actually introduced us to the Backrooms, and I think the way to introduce the Backrooms to people is just take all those clips for like an hour and make you go to the movies and just watch it.
No, that one's yeah. The Backrooms is like that. Like, hey, if you don't, like, you tell your kids, if you don't go to sleep, I'm seeing you the Backrooms. Kids will be asleep all over the world, getting some good rest. Not having to go to the back rooms, man. That place, those videos are scary because there's no content. Like, you have nothing. You don't know what's going on. Yeesh.
Yes. Yeah. Now we're starting to get into more like that, using the internet as lore to start to come up with these IPs, which is, I think, what's going to be next, right? It's like now even not game, because the internet lore is where the future's at, right? People are going to be talking about memes the way we quote movies.
Right.
So I think leaning into that is the way to go. And the Backrooms, man, that just kind of writes itself. I know they tried it with, what was the movie, Mario? We talked about it. Winky Dink. I keep wanting to call it Winky Dink.
Skinamarink.
Oh, Skinamarink. Skinamarink.
Skinamarink.
How Skinamark? Winky
Skinamark.
That's what we're going with. Those are scary names.
See, because the Slender Man, the way that all that creepypasta, horror macaroni kind of stuff that really just kind of gets people going. That's going to be the IPs. But here's the question: who owns that stuff? Who owns internet lore? I feel like the internet owns it.
Yeah. I don't know. The
That's
rights.
Probably what is going to keep the Halloween movie franchise going, because the community is like, hey, if you ain't going to do it, I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to, I don't know, try to do it better. I still can't remember the guy's name that did the remake of Star Trek, and he did Cloverfield.
JJ
Abrams. Yeah.
JJ Abrams.
Yeah.
JJ Abrams.
Yeah. So bring him in.
Our JJ.
Bring him in and have him take a stab at it.
He's still in movie jail. He's playing with Hot Wheels or he's filming Hot Wheels. We haven't decided which one is real. It's like, are you filming Hot Wheels? No, I just like to collect Hot Wheels.
That one's coming.
Yeah,
that one's coming.
So, all right, let's jump a little bit here. For the Halloween spooky season, what studio or streaming network would you say is the MVP of the season this year?
Ooh, Hulu, dog. I mean,
Hulu, huh?
Yeah, they got some stuff out there. They got some good stuff out there.
Well, I don't know. I haven't watched anything on Hulu. Like, are they just showing like the classics or OGs?
All of they got the classics, and they got this new indie side that, man, there's like some of the Danish movies and like the Korean movies over there that are the horror movies. Those scripts get stolen by somebody over here and goes, you know what, I'm gonna rewrite this. Ringu, hello. It's that kind of thing. It was like, oh, this is the original.
All right.
Yeah.
Because for me, I don't know about you guys. I feel like this was the first year you're really like, I feel like all the networks are leaning into what AMC did with Fear Fest, which, Mario, I'm guessing, would you call that your MVP?
The MVP of Halloween is basic cable. Basic cable. Thank you. We want to watch
night of the week.
We want to watch Final Destination with commercial breaks. That's what Halloween is.
It's Groundhog Day, Final Destination.
We want to watch Halloween Resurrection with the commercial breaks. Like all like the worst licensable movies.
They do cut at the worst times.
And it's like, as it gets closer to Halloween, they run out of movies. I think the licensing runs out because, like, the other day was like Tremors. It's like, Tremors, this is not Halloween related. That's what Fear Fest is.
6 degrees to Kevin Bacon, dude. They're just like, I can stick Kevin Bacon in a Halloween movie. There you go, Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon as a director, producer, writer, stars in Halloween. Boom.
Yeah. But Basic Cable, shout out to Basic Cable on Halloween. We love that.
Shout out Basic Cable.
I like the whole VHS mixtape. That's the closest we're gonna get is through Basic Cable. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I think Shudder still. I mean, it's every day is that. But Shudder being AMC owned, I think they really crushed it this year. Again, they're still head and shoulders the leader of leading the spooky season. Like they own spooky season for sure. Now granted, I didn't go into like Prime or Netflix or anything like that, but I just feel like they don't. We need the deep cuts. We needed to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah,
to give you that
I feel
vibe.
I feel like Amazon was like, you got to buy or rent this. Like everything I wanted to watch, it was like, you got to buy or rent it. I was like, okay, you know what? I've already seen it. I'm gonna go watch a new one.
Can I hijack the podcast for 1 second? Horror movie recommendation if you haven't seen it yet, guys. Bones and All is really good.
Bones and All.
Oh, Bones and All. Yeah,
we've had the Polaroids here in the studio, right, Jeff?
And that to
Bones
the list.
We did, yes.
Bones and All is really good.
I may be watching some movies this week.
It's really good. Like it's like surprisingly good. I didn't realize it was going to be that good.
That had eaters in it, right? They were called eaters.
It's got eaters. It's got, you've seen Near Dark.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's got echoes of Near Dark.
Okay.
And like echoes of Lost Boys in there a little bit. But it's good. It's really good. I think you should check out Bones and All. You'll like it.
Bones and All. I'm in. All right. Sounds delicious.
Solid Halloween recommendation.
Yes. So what we were trying to get our hands on is, and I think you really have to just go directly to the creator to get it. We were trying to get our hands on the sequel to the WNUF Halloween special, Mario, that you introduced us to, and I did find out that the sequel is out there, but you got to buy it directly from their website. Like, it's not streaming anywhere. They actually released it on VHS and DVD.
Yeah.
But it's called the Out There Halloween Mega Tape.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, but I mean, that's when the deep cuts, like when you're talking about like, where did Mario get all these commercials? You would think that you might find them on these mixtapes for sure.
They're nostalgic for real, because during the commercial break, I was like, dude, where are you finding this stuff? This is great. I remember this Paz, like smearing the lead-based paint on your face for Halloween.
Mommy, why is it not coming off? It burns.
I can't get this paint off my face. It burns.
Now you feel fine. It didn't do anything to the Tin Man. He had a great career.
Was there a better place at Halloween in your youth than your local drugstore? I mean, really, like Wins, or we had Wins in San Antonio.
Said Wins. Yes.
You had Wins. Did you have Wins?
We had Wins.
You had Wins?
Right next to Wieners.
You might, next to Wins and Wieners, yeah. And you had Walgreens probably and other places. I don't know what your grocery, your not the grocery store, the drugstore, Jeff. Up there.
Well, it was one of the commercials you showed. It was Woolworths.
Woolworth. You had Woolworth.
Woolworth. Yeah, we had Woolworths.
We had Wins down here. It was just called Wins. But you go in there on Halloween, and that was the place to be. They had all the costumes, decorations. It was the spot.
Wins.
Yeah,
you get
that's
candy,
where you like you said. You
costume.
Get and you don't get the He-Man action figures, right? You get the complete the knockoff of the knockoff.
Yeah,
that look like Thundar the Barbarian and Ookla.
Yeah.
And they had no movable joints. They were just locked into place.
They were just candles.
These stink.
So, oh man, I missed some recommendation here. Mr. Beast movie, I'm surprised that hasn't happened. Goosebump is currently happening on Disney. I have not watched it. And then La Llorona apparently had a sequel called La Urinate.
Stop
you guys knew that or not?
It's La Llorona and
La Llorona too.
Lorena is right outside of Waco.
I was going to say, don't say it 3 times. I think that's real life Beetlejuice.
Look, if you're a real G, you know about the ultimate horror movie, if you could ever make it, would be called the Donkey Lady movie.
Ay, la chingada, mira.
Chuckles, you know about the Donkey Lady.
¿Por qué te hablas así, mijo? What happened to you? Jesus Christ, bro. Dude, I'm flicking holy water.
He knows. Donkey Lady is legit. It's a real thing.
Oh. No, I mean, there's a movie?
No, there's no movie. There's no Donkey Lady movie, but there could be. There should be.
Oh, my God.
Are we allowed to talk about the Donkey Lady on here?
I don't know.
Will it get us banned?
I'm not sure what the rules are, but I mean, Donkey Lady was a real thing. Look it up. Google it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going
to roll the dice. I'm going to talk about it. All right, the Donkey Lady, San Antonio legend, now haunts the phone lines. I don't know if you knew that.
That's right.
Yes, there was a number you could call. She had a number you could call, and you'd hear Donkey Lady.
Oh my God! Scared no longer to have to drive to an old, dilapidated bridge at night in a dark corner of the South Side to hear the legendary Donkey Lady from midnight, October 31st through November 6th. Now they only had to call a local phone number each night. A new 45-second message awaits callers to the Donkey Lady hotline. Her story will unfold in a series of segments as she reflects on present-day San Antonio. Oh man. But it goes all the way back to the 1950s or the 1800s, and invariably describes a woman who suffered a terrible fate, either by drowning or being horribly disfigured in a fire, and usually involves her donkey, which is said to have bitten the son of an important figure on the town and perished at the hands of the father. I need to see this movie.
Yeah.
We do need a lady. Do you guys want to call the Donkey Lady number and see if it's active?
Yes.
Can we do that?
Is Lady Cleo going to answer? Be like, call me now.
HAR says, don't call the Donkey Lady.
Don't call it.
Is the number on there, Jeff?
Who are you gonna call?
I did some internet kung fu, and I got the Donkey Lady hotline.
All right, well, you have to call it and then hold it up to your mic there.
Oh yeah, call
it. You want to do it, or you want to do it, Charlie?
No, you do it.
I don't want Donkey Lady on my phone at all.
Yeah, you're in Jersey. She ain't gonna do nothing to you. So
we're close to San Antonio over here.
Good.
All right, do we want to do it?
As long as it's not dinner time, she'll be like, I told you never to call me during dinner time.
All right, I'm going to do it. So I think this is accurate because it's a 210 number. So this is a Dos Incredibles Exclusive. We are going to call the Donkey Lady.
Mario, please mute my microphone.
Don't leave us. If anything happens here, we tried to summon aliens.
Hold it up.
I'm not sure if that ever happened. I can't. All right, here we go. I'm going to dial. All right, area code 210. No, don't play me like that.
My mom answers,
Even
I
my
might be so
even my
upset.
phone is trying to stop me. 960. I'm not going to give the last four numbers. You're going to have to find that yourself.
Make the dialing noises.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
You got a speaker on? You got on speaker?
Yeah.
The Google subscriber you have called is not available.
Boo.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hi, we're looking for the donkey lady. All right, let's see if she calls back. I don't know, man. What did you like? That was the first time I ever called. Is that how it works? Is it like a speakeasy for demons or
No,
something?
you used to call it and you'd hear a message.
Can't you just Shouldn't you
might
know you're
haven't
calling?
called it since '87, but it was different.
Well, so this number that I found was as current as 2018. She wants to be part of the dialogue in San Antonio, her hometown. She loves the city and just wants to share her presence, her vision, and her observations of the good versus the evil in our community.
Donkey Lady is like the Bigfoot of San Antonio. People swear they've seen her or spoken to her on the phone.
Oh man, I have not seen it. She's been through some chingazos. Oh man, I want to see this movie now.
It's just on their website. You read that, so it's good. It's fine. It's fine. Does she have a Facebook? Does she have an Instagram? She got OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, now I'm scared when that phone call inevitably comes back in the middle of the night and they return my call. Because I did not do *67 because I don't even think that exists anymore. I did not try to block the number. So she has my number now.
Yep.
Oh my
but
god!
It went to a Google phone though, so she's being forwarded to another phone.
Yeah, because she probably
Yeah.
sold her number to
Miss Cleo.
Sindar from
Call me now for a free reading.
Now I want to ask our friend the Mandalorian. She's also a San Antonio OG. If she knows about the donkey lady, we're gonna have to find out. All right, so let's do. You want to do a final spot here? I have no idea. I don't have a timer or anything, so I don't know how long we're going. But let's do a final spot.
We're good.
Okay, that sounds about right. So Charlie, we'll start with you. Like, we'll do a go-to movie that you watch every Halloween, and then the go-to movie that you would recommend somebody to watch. It's kind of like you don't ever tell anybody your real favorite movie.
The go-to every Halloween, definitely The Crow. Like that one fills all the windows of just it feels Halloween. A recommendation. The Crow.
Howie, what are your feelings about Skarsgård in the remake of The Crow?
I didn't see the new. Oh, admittedly, I didn't see the new. I didn't.
He was in Barbarian. You saw Barbarian, right?
I like the guy. I saw Barbarian, yes, and yes. So I think he's gonna do great. It's gonna be one of those Joker scenarios. Like if you're gonna change the character around, then I'm gonna find the actor I like, and then if he fits my my vision of him, then you get my blessing. So.
All right.
But I like him as an actor. I will.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's a solid actor.
He is. Yeah, he's solid.
Not a bad looking kid. Like, you just focus on big tall British kid.
Yeah. All right.
So.
Oh yeah, he did good and he did well in John Wick as well.
Yeah.
Mario.
What's the question?
What's your Halloween movie you watch every year on Halloween or close to Halloween, and then what would you recommend other people to watch?
I recommend for other people to watch if you want to watch a fun Halloween movie, to me, this is the best. Is Return of the Living Dead. I just think that's one of the the soundtrack and the whole vibe of the whole movie is a party. Put that on at your Halloween event. Watch that with your friends.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
That's a good one.
Do you want to party? It's funny because the best thing about that recommendation is it's a Halloween movie and then it's a 4th of July movie. It's actually one of the films that actually fits for 2 holidays. We don't have many movies. There's many movies that fit one holiday. That movie fits 2 holidays.
Yep.
That's pretty dope.
Yep. And I think the movie that I think I watch every Halloween season because I feel like it's the only time appropriate to watch it. Fright Night. The original Fright Night is a classic, and it just it just feels like Halloween.
I forgot how powerful. I mean, you remember Evil Ed. He sticks out in your mind, but I really forgot how good that performance was. I mean, just everything about his screams and his face, like everything about Evil Ed, man, he just captured the moment. So that's a great recommendation. I just rewatched that, and to me, it holds up really well. Like everything about that really works so well. It's almost like a serious Monster Squad, because Monster Squad's another one that you can go back and watch it and you can get the remember berries, you get the feels, but it's Fright Night for real. And it's just about his house. What is that guy? His butler, his bodyguard? Like what was that? But he was a wolf man? Right?
Just real quick. So it's hard to really narrow this one down in movies in general. I have a lot of scenes. I got a lot of scenes that I can go like, as a kid or growing up watching scary movies, right? That scared the crap out of me, right? And that's that one scene. The rest of the movie was like, whatever. But just that one scene, that would be hard if you could just put that together and then whatever the name of that movie that you were talking about, where the VHS mixtape or whatever, it's like that. That's the scary movie that I would watch. Just like watch all the better scenes and just watch them all put together.
Yeah. Well, that's a little bit of Joe Bob, right? There's something about having him breaking in with movies that you've seen before. He makes movies better. He makes shows better with those breaks that he throws in there. I really...
It helps.
I see what you're saying. You want to capture it. Like, I just find myself leaving on the 100 scariest movie moments of all time on Shudder. I rewatched that whole thing. It took me all month. That was like the background noise once football news was over. You put on that, and you get a little bit of that.
Man, I'm not going to have to sign up for Shudder. Somebody want to share their Shudder account with me?
Yeah, 100%.
I want to add that to the app.
Yeah, give me a password.
For real. So, hey, I'll swap you. I'll give you an HBO Max or Hulu. We trade.
Password swapping. That should be a thing, right?
That was a joke.
Well, I'm gonna go with. I think people should. There's a movie that everybody loves, and it's traditionally loved. And to me, it's the number one horror movie of all time. So I think you should always throw it in there. It's The Shining, but I'm gonna throw in there that people really need to give Dr. Sleep a chance. I loved Dr. Sleep. I thought he found a way. What's his name? He found a way. Andy Machete. And with Ewan McGregor. Found a way.
Is it Andy Machete? It's the guy who's doing all those Netflix shows. Mike Flanagan.
Flanagan. Yeah, that's it. Flanagan. Who's great. It was not. Yeah, it's Flanagan. And he found a way, to me, that he honored the Stanley Kubrick vision, which was different from the Stephen King version, but he also honored the Stephen King version. Now, granted, it's not as scary as The Shining, but nothing can be. All 70 movies are scary. You're not going to be able to top a horror movie made in the 70s. You're just not. It was just the perfect time for it. But I think Dr. Sleep was a really, really good movie, and it did have some scary parts. Like when you take a kid out in a movie, it means business. That was our complaint with Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like you can't. It's not really fun because you took a cut out. But Dr. Sleep has a scene like that, right, where they're sucking the shine, and I really think people need to watch those back to back and give Dr. Sleep a chance, because Mike Flanagan's great. He's another one that really gets. There are these new horror creators. Like we had our John Carpenters, our Wes Cravens. We had those, but now we have people like Damien Leone and Mike Flanagan that are reaching this new generation, and I think they did a really good job with continuing the story of The Shining. Like I watched a small video on a shot for shot of like the same locations that they did in The Shining versus where they, because it took Dr. Sleep is in the Overlook Hotel, so they have shot for shots of him looking through the door.
I'm definitely watching it now. Yeah.
It's so good.
I haven't seen it. I'm going to tell you, I haven't seen it. And because every time I put it on, it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, it's a 2.5 hour movie. And
it's long.
I want to be able to, I know it's called Dr. Sleep, but I don't want to fall asleep through it. So I want to pay attention to that. I want to pay attention to the movie. Thank you, Barbara.
I would say the only thing that's a little bit like, I wish I found a way to do it, but I get why they couldn't do it, is the CGI can take you a little bit out of the moment, right? Because if it doesn't feel, it feels a little CGI-y, but that Rose the Hat character, Rebecca Ferguson, I was like, man, I want to just watch this girl in everything. Like she just kept stealing my gaze, and I'm not really into like cult type movies, right? But the leader of the True Knot, the people that basically suck on those psychic powers that like Danny had, The Shining.
Right.
Man, everything about it was just really, really good. It created a great vibe. I remember seeing it in the theater, and I was just shocked that it's just like it didn't get the comeuppings it deserved. But I think as time goes on, when you just put these next to each other, I think it's gonna get appreciated. So that's my plead. Watch The Shining because it deserves to be watched, and watch Dr. Sleep because it also deserves to be watched and acknowledged.
And also, all work and no play make Jeff a dull boy. I'm gonna watch it when I get home, for real. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm on it, doing it.
Yeah, I think you're doing the right thing. And then when you're done, to cleanse your palate, go to YouTube and type in The Rebooting a Tech Nightmare. Just to cleanse your palate, and that's the trilogy that we're going to recommend for you to watch. Which you want to tell us the fun story about the rebooting? Mario? Do you remember this? How Charlie is related to the rebooting?
I don't know.
No.
What's the story?
So fun story, because we had a live show on our B2B marketing company that went on for years, and that's what we made the rebooting for, right, for the Halloween season. But then we had the Halloween show where the winner of the person that was bobbing for apples and the popcorn wins the big wheel that was actually the actual big wheel that was used in the rebooting, and the winner was Charlie.
I still
remember that.
I still have it. I still have it. My son still has it.
See?
He rides it, and then oh my gosh, I'll dig out a video for you, and it's his grandfather riding it, chasing him on another big wheel, like around the property. It's pretty funny. That's amazing. Good Lord, what year was this? Dang, boy.
Oh man, I watch that every year. I think it holds up. It holds up really well.
Solid
that
video.
was the bobbing for apples. That was when I was wearing the solid silver mask with like a slip-on mask. Man,
yes.
Wow. Dude.
We did, man. We had some great, but the rebooting, that I think that's the perfect trilogy that you can enjoy this. Let me see if I can bring this guy up to
put that link in the chat. Like let everybody drink it in. I mean, you and the in the wig versus the Terrifier was a throwback. So go ahead and just pull that one out too.
You got it back there. The video exists somewhere over here. I could play it, but
it's on DVD.
Not without a head.
Ooh, there's your reboot, right? You send out a gold DVD to some lucky person, right, to get them to come into the release date of the movie, and it's their job to get on social media and promote the crap out of it for free. Guerrilla marketing at its finest. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
All right, fellas. Is that a spot? Is that a show?
I feel like that's a show.
That feels like a thing. I miss Jess. I'm going to just sit here and stare at Jess busting through that wall.
There it is.
Here's another fun story. I mean, you remember that is we actually got the niece of Shelley Duvall actually worked at Spiceworks, and she started working there 2 weeks later after we shot this.
Bro.
Yeah. And just like, now there's no way Jess would have had been that, but we would have definitely would have found a way
awesome.
To get her into here.
Shout out to Shelley Duvall, dude.
She's actually
there's to that role is just cray. Like, she was so really terrified of Jack Nicholson. She was like, to have to do the scene over and over and over and over, put like some PTSD on her at the time. So, thank you.
Yeah, that was there's a sad documentary about her. She's actually in Austin right now, right?
Yeah.
I believe she is there.
Definitely Texas. I don't know about Austin, yeah.
But yeah, what was it? 124 takes?
Of
something like that.
Yeah, him coming through. Yeah, there it is right there. Right there. You see that coming through the door every day. Goodness. It's like, how much coffee did you have, sir? Sir, please.
Sorry, I think I'm glitching. Do I look like, I feel like I'm not blinking right now?
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
my lips are not moving, but I'm talking.
I said no cheese on my cheeseburger.
All
right, Mario, you're gonna have to take us home because I can't hear the go home music. I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna go to the go home music. We're gonna throw to the spinning pumpkin to take us home.
All right.
Just our voices as we go home.
All right, that's fair. But yeah, Charlie, thanks for coming on here, man.
Oh, man.
I do apologize. I'm not there in person to make you some Halloween hooch.
I'm taking this chair. Don't even get it twisted. This chair is coming with me.
To quote Homer Simpson, you better not be messing up my ass groove.
Yes, nice cheeks.
But yeah, let's do it again next year.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, and if you guys need to read the book, Surely You Can't Be Serious.
I am serious.
You will be totally inspired to open up a Dos Incredibles theater in the vein of the Kentucky Fried Theater. I think and Halloween will be our WrestleMania season for sure.
Oh my God.
Yes. All right, fellas. Enjoy Terrifier 2. And we'll catch you on the Flippity Flip. We'll be getting a regular cadence here, too. I think we'll be back live for a Thanksgiving special.
Oh, that's our anniversary. So, yeah, we should do that.
Yeah. So we will be back live. I will be back in the HX.
I speak jive.
What's jive turkey? It's just turkey, only spicier.